Okay, so we've talked about kind of accessing LL.Bean's website from within UC, from within a corporate or university organizational website network. What about if we're accessing from a typical home network? So let's look at what a home network might look like. So again, we have our client machine, right? So generally, though, for most of us, we have a wireless network at home, right? So we don't have a wired network, or maybe we do, but we don't use it for everything. But most of us will have a wireless network. So this is my little icon for a wireless access point, right? So this is our wireless, some people call it a wireless router that you buy at Best Buy or go to newegg.com or something like that. But your wireless router, wireless access point is what we usually call them. It does have a physical connection to the router, which is the small box that you're given by your internet service provider. And that connects them to their, actually it's probably connecting to a switch in your neighborhood somewhere, which is similar to what we had in our organizational network. And then your neighbors are also accessing that same switch, which goes to your internet service provider's router, right? And then out to the other internet service providers. And so we have this wireless network here in our home, right? And we configure this wireless router with, say, a password, a WPA2 password. Hopefully, web passwords are pretty weak. But in actuality, this wireless router is doing a number of things for us. It's serving as a router, kind of connect our system to the internet service provider's network. It's also performing as a switch, right? It's also performing as a switch because we can have things like, you know, our Xbox connected to our network. We can have our tablet connected to our wireless network. So it's acting as a switch because it's connecting multiple devices here. It's acting as a DHCP server because it is divvying out IP addresses to our devices as well. So these Best Buy kind of style wireless routers are actually serving a number of different purposes. And so really a server is simply a piece of hardware that has some software built into it. And so a wireless access point, a wireless router at Best Buy is actually serving these number of purposes. It has an operating system inside of it. If you're like me, you can actually put your own operating system on it and have it do some things that it doesn't ordinarily do. So most of you may not do that though. So we have our wireless router, which is then connecting our wireless clients into the network, into our ISP. So everything else is very much the same. The one big difference here is when we had our wired network here. So one big difference between a wireless switch and a traditional switch is a traditional switch, when my client here, let's say it's connecting to the one-stop server, that data goes through the line and then straight out the port to get to the one-stop server, right? So there's no way that this client here can see the traffic that's going on through the switch, right? So a wireless network unfortunately doesn't work like that. So if we have these clients all talking to our wireless router here, unfortunately what's happening is this device can listen to all the traffic that's going on in and out of the router. Okay, so hopefully you're trusting the people in your own network here that that they're not, it's called sniffing the traffic and seeing what you're doing across the network. But if you don't trust them, you may want to do some things to set up some more security to work around this. And so this is why it's important, if you're accessing a public wireless access point, say at Panera Bread or McDonald's or something like this, to know that all of these people around you, if they have the capability and the knowledge, can sniff your traffic. So it's not really a good rule of thumb to do any bank transactions when you're sitting at Panera on their free wireless access or at hotels or anything like that. To get around that, you can use a VPN into your corporate or university network. If you VPN first, you can create a secure tunnel where these other people on this wireless router are not seeing your traffic. So again, this only applies to all the devices that are connected to that specific wireless access point. So you don't have to worry about your neighbors accessing this wireless traffic unless they're connected to your access point, which is why it's important to secure your access point. So that's kind of how wireless works. And the same thing if we had wireless set up in a corporate network, but I just wanted to show you kind of maybe how this looks in a home-based network.